Shalom, everybody. I had a question on my sermon I posted this morning concerning Yom Kippur and fasting. And this question gets posed to me often, and so I thought I'd do a quick video and go ahead and upload it for people to watch. What about the elderly, little children, babies, pregnant women, nursing mothers, things of that nature? In the Torah, there's a principle, and the principle teaches us that life is the greatest of the commandments. We learned this a couple of ways. One is in the sixth commandment, which says, do not murder. That is a negative commandment, and to every negative commandment, there's a positive opposite. So when Yahweh tells us, do not murder, he's also telling us to preserve life. Life, being the greatest commandment, always trumps other commandments, even if they have a high grade or high weight or measure in the Torah. We see this taught in the Newer Testament when Yeshua's disciples are going through the grain field and they're plucking grain on Shabbat. And what they were doing technically was not lawful for them to do. But because of the situation of the need or the hunger that the disciples had, Yeshua allowed them to pluck the heads of grain and eat them, right there raw. It would be like a man who has a pregnant wife and she all of a sudden goes into labor, and they jump in the car and he runs every stop sign and every red light on the way to the hospital because he wants to make sure to get his wife there for a proper delivery. Technically, he broke the law, but the spirit or intent of the law was not broken. The man was trying to do what? Preserve the life of the little baby and also his wife. For little babies, obviously, that do not understand, I have a little granddaughter, fresh born. She's like 10, 11 weeks old. I think it's perfectly fine for her to continue to breastfeed. And my daughter, who is feeding her little baby, I think it's fine for her to drink, maybe eat a banana. You want to be minimal with it, but I think it's perfectly fine. Historically, Jewish women were allowed to be exempt to some extent on Yom Kippur because if they did a complete total fast, no food or water, they may be jolted into labor prematurely and may miscarry. And so we don't want that to happen. It's the same thing with elderly people. If placing an elderly person on a fast is going to possibly harm their health or maybe even cause them to pass away, then, it's perfectly okay for them to eat. In these cases, you want to just do it minimally. I remember that when our children were real little, sometimes if they got real hungry and started crying, we'd give them a banana, and then we'd let them drink water. But by the time they were probably, 4, maybe even 3, they were pretty good on doing a 24-hour fast from evening to evening. They didn't really need anything, and they were so thankful to eat afterwards. Yeah, hopefully that helps. And I pray that you'll have a good fast on Yom Kippur whenever you deem it appropriate to celebrate by the calendar you think is best. Shalom.